Hello, this is Pastor Jones. Wanted to spend about 5 minutes with you today. And once again, as we're not very far into this new year, I want to focus on the new year theme, if I may. There is a passage in John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress, and if you haven't read it, I pray this year you will, in which Bunyan saw Christian in a new place of indecision. Christian looked as it would that he would run, and yet he stood still, because as I perceived, he could not tell which way to go. Then Bunyan in his dream saw Evangelist come up to Christian, and he goes on in the immortal passage. Then said the Evangelist, pointing with his finger over a very wide field, "Do you see yonder wicker gate?" The man said, "No." "Do you see yonder shining light?" The Evangelist said, "I think so." Then said the Evangelist, "Keep the light in your eye, and go directly thereto. So shalt thou see the gate, at which when thou knockest, it shall be told thee what thou shalt do." My friends, this is the message for this new year that we find ourselves in. Three things that you and I need to do. We need to go forward, and we need to go outward, and we need to go upward. We should be traveling forward, without a doubt. When David Livingstone volunteered for missionary service, they asked him where he was willing to go. This is how he replied, "I will go anywhere," he said, "so long as it is forward." The daunting thing about life is that so often the end of the year finds us no further than we were at the end of the year before. We still have the same faults. We are still making the same mistakes, and we are still failing and falling into the same temptations. Let us resolve once and for all to go forward in God in this new year. Secondly, we should be traveling outward. If we look out instead of in, if we think of others instead of ourselves, if concerned care for others takes the place of selfishness, then obviously life will be more useful and certainly will be much more happy. One time when there was a convention of the Salvation Army, we find that General Booth could not come because of ill health, but he sent a note. A man ran it down to the front of the stage, and everybody paused as the speaker at the podium opened it up to give the message that Booth had sent. There was only one word, and that word was others. Friends, that's what the Christian life is all about. It's not about me, myself, and I. It is about others. It is said that in a certain place in Africa, when an African gets a very heavy burden to carry, he puts it at the end of a pole. Then he gets a stone of equal weight and burden and puts it at the other end of the pole. Then he balances it out as he lifts it up, and it makes it easier for him to carry. Often, my friends, the easiest way to carry our troubles is to carry somebody else's as well. To take thought for the troubles of others, my friends, is the surest way to forget our own problems. And then thirdly, we should be traveling upward. In a sense, we cannot help doing that, for every day we are taking a bit closer to eternity. We are all traveling down that same road. We should see things very much more clearly and in their true proportions if we live with that particular perspective. We would see the difference between the things which are important and the things, listen now, that frankly really don't matter in light of eternity. If we look at them in the light of eternity, we will be like that illustration I read at the start. We will see the yonder light, and God will continue to encourage you and I to continue to climb higher. May that be the path that you take in 2022. Determined to go forward, to go onward, and to go upward in God. I hope I gave you something to think about today. This is Pastor Jones saying, God bless until I see you again.